vois 9, 26, 46 km.
Ça, c'est l'ouverture.
Ça, c'est double zéro. C'est Michel, ça? Oui, c'est Michel. C'est Michel Boisonneau. Il l'a déjà fait, le rallye.
Est-ce qu'il y a beaucoup de participants qui viennent de la région?
Il n'y a pas de tête qui dérange? Non.
Ah, ça, il y en a.
L'autre s'en vient dans 2 minutes. Tiens-toi prêt?
C'est quoi, dingue, c'est de la fin.
Il est vite.
Non, la première année.
C'est ça, top,
Il rote même pas.
en tout cas, un autre commentaire. Ça va vite, ça va ça aurait été beau.
Watchez-vous!
Le petit jaune qui s'en vient.
On sait, on sait.
T'arranges pas le train?
Tu donnes des crochis, là, t'as des champs de statique. Et quand ça travaille, tu fais pas de calme.
L'exercice parvient à développer un son et une logique qui sont propres. Isolés un peu hors de l'activité en Australie, là, ça leur a permis de croître en paix et à leur rythme. Le retour à Sydney après une année.
Hugo, là, pour bien faire, ça il prendrait des springs qui vont après des
Parce que je suis bien pauvre, bien. Les gars,
Si je suis en
Regarde quand je t'ai dit, j'ai pas fait comme un œil. Ça arrive dans l'œil.
Il s'en vient, là, s'en vient pas mal.
Oui.
Ils n'ont pas marché, les mannequins.
Sydney, the men and machines that will challenge Cape Breton's most treacherous wilderness runs. Many Americans are competing in the Rally Brador, and one of the best is Tim O'Neill.
Tim, we understand you're the event favorite here. In fact, I know you are. Does that put extra pressure on you?
Well, it always puts a little bit of pressure, but if everybody lets pressure bother them, they're bound to make a mistake. So I think that you have to put that out of your mind and just run your own rally.
Tim, there's a lot of short stages here. How does that affect you both mentally and physically?
Well, of course, the short stages are very difficult because you have to come up and down all the time. It's a lot easier to do less a number of long stages. It's far more difficult to do the short events. So I think you just got to be more careful and take your time and just get your concentration and try your best.
But now the moment everybody has been waiting for.
Here we are at the start of the Rally Brador. The cars are leaving on the first transit run down to the start of the first special stage where the action will really heat up.
Now, while both the Rally Brador and the Marconi Classic are running on the same day, each will be following a completely different route. The Rally Brador covers more than 500 kilometers and takes competitors on a crisscross tour of Cape Breton Island. It starts and ends in Sydney, but along the journey, teams will encounter some of the most demanding road courses of eastern Cape Breton Island. From sandbars to dirt roads, and from smooth paved highways to tricky forested pathways. Without any previous knowledge of the area, drivers will be relying on their senses and the accurate directions called out by their trusty navigators. For performance rallying is above all a team sport, and both competitors in the car are equally important. Like all performance rallies, the Rally Brador consists of sections of closed roads called stages and highways called transits. This weekend, drivers will be traveling through 25 stages, and each will present a different type of challenge. Every second counts through the stages because the team that goes through them in the least amount of time wins that stage. All teams must obey the rules of the road when they travel the Nova Scotia public highways during the transit. While some might think rallying isn't as exciting as oval or road course racing, one look at this action is apt to change your mind. This is all-out racing. There's no room for Sunday drivers in this sport, particularly at the Circuit Cape Breton Motorsports Weekend. They have to be sharp, and they have to be in total control of their machines, because you never know what lies ahead down the road.
What you see behind me is an S-curve. What makes it difficult for the driver is that it's blind, and he doesn't know what's on the other side of the crest.
Indeed, the action never stops. And if you think rallying is less dangerous than other forms of motor racing, think again.
Well, Joe, I know this isn't a happy time for you. Your car's not in great shape. You were doing pretty well up to this time. What happened?
John, we came down the hill, we saw the marks, we cut in to clip the apex a little bit, and there was a big hole in the inside. We dropped the wheel in, and it didn't bounce out, so we went over.
Yeah, that's just right. We were here, and we saw the front tire just caught in the hole made by the culvert, and as you said, over she went 2.5 times. It looked like about a 2.8 difficulty.
Yeah.
Now, checkpoint and service stops are found along the way. Officials record the time it takes each team to reach the checkpoint, and the service stops play a key role in the rally. Crews must perform all manner of maintenance and minor repairs, sometimes in just a matter of minutes. Indeed, the level of competition is so intense that events are often won and lost in mere seconds, even after hours of rallying. When we come back, we'll join up with the Marconi Classic as they make their way to the magnificent Fortress Louisbourg. While the action is heating up in the performance rally, competitors in the Marconi Classic enjoy a slower and scenic pace on their way to Baie for the official start of the event. The drivers have been making several stops along the way to allow spectators the chance to see these fine machines close up. Although primarily a spectator show, the Marconi Classic is also a competitive event for participants, even right down to giving a prize for the team with the best costume. And those two look like they've got a good chance at winning that part of the event.
The Marconi Classic last year was a lot of fun. This year we hope it'll be just as much fun. I'm just a navigator for Bill. He owns the 37 Pontiac. But one of the trophies is for period costume, so we're just trying our best to make it look a little nicer by wearing something like this. The navigator's supposed to take it quite serious and be very observant, but I think the majority of the people are here just to have a good time and show off the nice vintage cars.
The Marconi Classic competitors are following a less demanding route than that of the performance rallies. Their course is loosely based on the Marconi Trail from Baie to Louisbourg. Louisbourg was the seaport fortress of the French when they ruled Cape Breton. The fabled French stronghold eventually fell to the British in 1758, and today, more than 200 years later, the Phoenix-like fortress is now used as one of the world's premier museums. Indeed, Fort Louisbourg is an appropriate ending place for a rally featuring museum showpiece automobiles. While the antique car rally is slow and steady, hair-raising action continues to be the name of the game for the competitors in the Rally Breton. Pro rallying is every bit as exciting as sports car racing or IndyCar racing, and every bit as fiercely fought by the drivers. World Championship open wheel racing doesn't have a lock on excitement. No siree. In this rally, drivers and navigators get to pass through several of Cape Breton's seaside towns, and one of the nicest stops is located in St. Peter's.
Rallying, unlike road racing, where you're competing all the time, gives the competitors a chance to drive down public roads. It gives them the chance to come to small, quaint villages like St. Peter's, where we are right now, and the competitors will be here shortly to do a service stop where the mechanics will check the cars.
Good food and warm hospitality abound in Cape Breton. But St. Peter's also provides drivers with another chance to get their cars serviced. Once again, mechanics check for nagging minor problems that could become major headaches if they're not looked after right now.
Basically, we rely on the driver to tell us if he's noticed anything wrong, odd sounds, things like that. We check for any leaks, mainly oil leaks, potential gas leaks, and brakes especially. Other than that, we rely on the driver to inform us and the co-driver for anything that they've noticed that's odd or odd sounding.
We come in, first of all, we try to gas the thing up for starters. Right now, Daryl came in, he just had some clutch problems, so we bled his hydraulic clutch, check his mags. They got to be torqued down so the proper stress is on them when they're racing. Check the oil, just run of the mill things, just to make sure the car's still running smoothly. And there's only so much you can do, and if everything seems to be running good, that's all you can do.
But after a quick stomach and car pit stop, teams are off and rallying again. There's a lot of ground to make up because soon they will be racing in the dark, and that's when an entirely different style of driving will be required. Throughout the day, drivers and navigators have experienced intense pressure, but pressure is not only on the competitors, it's also on the organizers. Besides being a round of the Atlantic Rally Championships, the Rally Breton is also being judged for its potential as a future major stop on both the Canadian and North American pro rally circuits. And one of the key observers this weekend has been Canadian Rally Director Bryson Guptill.
Well, that's right. If, in our view, the rally is run in a professional enough manner, and we don't have any particular problems, then the rally could be considered as part of the Canadian Championship.
As darkness descends, drivers will now be doing the route in reverse, so at least they have some idea of what to expect. Inspections and checkpoints also take place at night, and once again, these stops play key roles in the outcome of the event. They also provide another chance for the drivers and navigators to talk about the day's racing and fill that hunger from a long day on the road. But finally, a winner is declared. It's Tim O'Neill and his Canadian navigator, Martin Headland. After more than 12 hours of rallying, it's time for these two champions to let loose and celebrate the spoils of victory.
No, I feel great. I think it was a great rally. It was a complete success, and I hope it's going to be a national next year so we can have a lot more teams. And I think that Cape Breton is a great place to rally.
When Checkered Flag returns, we'll pick up all the action. The second day of the Celtic Cup Navigational Rally and all the thrills and spills of the body-pounding motorcycle enduro racing event. Now, the Celtic Cup is the longest rally of its kind in Atlantic Canada. It's a skill event, but it's also a fun event. That means you don't have to be a professional to compete. Sure, experience helps, but part of the fun is trying to figure out just what the heck you're doing in the midst of the competition. Teams have had to follow a precise set of directions contained in a rule book. These diagrams are called tulips. They're simple sketches of what an intersection would look like if you were looking down from above. Armed with a pen, paper, a stopwatch, and calculator, teams have already covered 300 kilometers during day one and are now going to be covering another 200 clicks on day two.
We don't have an odometer, but between the speedometer and the clock, we're taking, well, it gets confusing. We're taking kilometers, converting them to miles, converting miles to miles per hour, and then miles per hour to time, to get to when we should be at the next intersection.
Last year, we came up just for the fun of it, for experience to run the Great American Race, and we won the Media Cup, the Novice Cup, and the Celtic Cup last year by the skin of our teeth. And so we had to come back this year, one, to bring back our prize money we're giving back to the organization, and to be here to be beaten.
Sometimes the action in the navigational rallies can be just as hectic as that found in performance events. Like the drivers in the Rally Brador, competitors in the Celtic Cup also get to see a lot of the Cape Breton countryside. And in this rally, they even had to travel across a river on a ferry boat. Believe it or not, this is actually part of the race. And like the performance rally, navigators also play an important role in the Celtic Cup event. It's their job to make sure that the team doesn't get lost, and that's not as easy as it may sound. From a spectator's point of view, one of the more interesting parts of a navigational rally is watching competitors trying to figure out their direction. You see, playing follow the leader wasn't the best thing to do. Indeed, it was a challenging day and a fun day for everybody. While most of the action this weekend was found in the 3 rally events, there was plenty to see for two-wheeled enthusiasts as well. This is motorcycle racing enduro style, and these hardy competitors weren't racing on pavement or even on dirt roads. Would you believe? A gravel pit. Mud, rocks, water holes, and more mud. These conditions would be bad enough under normal circumstances, but Mother Nature socked it to them on this day. Enduro riders certainly can't be accused of traveling in style. No, sir. An open pickup truck is their wheels to the track, and forget about finding any fancy motorhome. More than 20 riders are competing in this event. They might look like modern-day gladiators, but it's the elements and unbearable conditions they'll be battling.
Yeah, the track's pretty narrow cross country. It's not like the normal motocross tracks. It will be tricky. There's a lot of mud, a lot of deep spots.
Go with the flow. Whatever the conditions are, you just go that speed. Just don't ride over your head and just keep moving today. It's going to be a long race.
I ride all over Canada and the U.S. this summer. It was all like this mostly.
Well, we're in it for the driving part of it, which is the bikes, and these guys are pretty dedicated athletes. It's a strenuous type thing for these fellas to go through, and if you can look at some of the course, you're going to see some real good driving, a lot of acrobatics, things that go with good times and maybe a few beers.
Because of overlapping riders, you're going to have riders merge in traffic, actually, is the easy way to put that there. And we zigzag back and forth to the pit itself to get in the 2.5-mile course is set up. It's much easier, actually, than the cross country, which requires a lot of marking and extra workers. But in this area here, we just thrown in all the rock sections we can get, hills and water holes, as you can see, and there's going to be plenty of mud today, more than we bargained for. Today we have 26 riders going, so she's going to get really geared up. Actually, when you're using these sections anywhere up to 30 times, you multiply that by 20 and you got the equivalent of about 300 riders going through it, so you can imagine the condition the course is going to be at the end of 3 hours.
And now it's time for racing. Tension grips their handlebars. And they're off. 100 kilometers of bone-jarring racing lies ahead of them. Look at the determination. Can you believe what they're facing? The conditions are so terrible, even our camera isn't spared.
Look at the lens.
Just staying on top of their machines has been a demanding test. But for the victor, a sparkling trophy awaits him at the victory banquet. And really, that's what the Circuit Cape Breton Motorsports Weekend has been all about. Competition and the thrill of going head-to-head with your fellow racers, giving your best and using all of your talent and skill to keep ahead of the pack. It's been an exciting weekend of hard-fought racing. Each competitor will leave Cape Breton having a rewarding experience. They've made new friends and gained a new respect for their fellow competitors. It's taken the efforts of hundreds of volunteers to bring it all together. And without them, this event would not have been such an overwhelming success. And everyone is looking forward to returning next year for more excitement and more skill testing challenges at the Circuit Cape Breton Motorsports Weekend. Try a little maritime madness on for size, the making of a grand enduro bike race.
You've got to be talented, dedicated, and fearless to compete in the high-speed world of motor racing. Whether challenging the high-ranking turns of the North American NASCAR circuit or hitting the 200 miles per hour straights of the IMSA competitions, it takes all the concentration drivers can muster. But these world-class racers don't have a lock on these qualities. No, sir. When it comes to spitting in the eye of danger, possessing raw talent and being totally dedicated to their sport, few can match the battles fought by motorcycle enduro riders. Fearless, just look at the course these riders have to race on. There's no smooth pavement here. Why? This is a gravel pit. Mud, rocks, water holes, and more mud. While Indy and Formula One racers are used to traveling in style, enduro riders certainly can't be accused of living a pampered life on the road. An open pickup truck is their wheels to the track, and you won't find any fancy motorhomes here either. And forget about high-paid mechanics to prepare your machine. Enduro riders are jacks of all trades. 26 riders have come to Cape Breton Island in the province of Nova Scotia, Canada, to brave the elements and conditions that most people would take one look at and crawl back into bed. But not these hardy racers.
Yeah, the track's pretty narrow cross country. It's not like the normal motocross tracks. It will be tricky. There's a lot of mud, a lot of deep spots.
Go with the flow. Whatever the conditions are, you just go that speed. Just don't ride over your head and just keep moving today. It's going to be a long race.
And although danger will lurk everywhere, even those who have been banged up in previous enduro races still come back every year for more body-pounding excitement.
It wasn't really much of a wipeout. I just hit my throat across the crossbar on my bike and just it went from there and just had to go to the hospital after that. And I was there for a while. And was in the hospital for about 11 months altogether. Had about 12 operations, but still back at it though. So that doesn't bother me anymore.
And now the time for racing has arrived. Tension grips their handlebars and they're off. 100 kilometers of rough and tumble terrain await them. It's rock and roll without the music. Look at the determination. Can you believe this dedication? Why, the conditions are so terrible, even our camera isn't spared. Imagine the poor visibility that these racers must put up with. There will be no champagne victory podium celebrations for the Cape Breton Enduro winner. And there certainly won't be any fat paycheck for him either. But these Enduro racers aren't in this game for glory and riches. Just knowing you have beaten your fellow riders is all the praise they need. And a treasured trophy will look mighty nice on the mantle. It'll be a fitting reminder of his day of checkered flag success in the thrill-a-minute world of enduro racing.
On this week's Making of a Grand Race, Checkered Flag travels to the east coast of Canada for a performance rally in picturesque Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. More than 500 years ago, European explorers and settlers came to the island of Cape Breton in search of adventure and glory. They were greeted by breathtaking scenery and a view as far as the eye could see. And today, another group of adventure seekers have come to this magnificent part of Canada. They are professional rally racers, and over the next 12 hours, they'll be challenging some of the most treacherous roads ever driven on by performance rally enthusiasts. The event is the Rally Brador, named after the beautiful Lake Brador, one of the world's finest inland seas of unpolluted salt water. Professional teams from Canada and the eastern part of the United States come to this island for a race that will certainly separate the men from the boys. Teams will cover more than 500 kilometers, and more than 160 of those will be run over gravel roads. It will be the ultimate test of driving skill, so split-second reflexes are a must as drivers race over twisting and tricky forest roads that neither the driver nor his navigator have ever seen before. But American rally driver Tim O'Neill isn't worried.
Well, it always puts a little bit of pressure, but if everybody lets pressure bother them, they're bound to make a mistake. So I think that you have to put that out of your mind and just run your own rally.
Now, the thing that makes performance rallying one of the most demanding forms of all motorsports is the wide variety of road conditions that drivers must face. From paved highways to rugged dirt roads, drivers must constantly be changing their car handling technique. And a total team effort is essential for success. This rally is composed of closed sections called stages and regular highways called transits. Drivers race as fast as they can in their high-performance cars through the stages because every second counts. But when they're driving through the transits, they have to obey all traffic and speed laws. But it's through the stages that the real heart-pumping action takes place.
Well, of course, the short stages are very difficult because you have to come up and down all the time. It's a lot easier to do less a number of long stages. It's far more difficult to do the short events. So I think you just got to be more careful and take your time and just get your concentration and try your best.
Pro rallying is every bit as fierce and as exciting as races waged on the Formula One and IndyCar circuits. But these World Championship Series don't have a lock on high drama. If you think pro rallying isn't nerve-wracking, hold on to your seats. If this happened to you in your car, you can bet the back 40 you'd be phoning in sick the next day, maybe for the next year. But these cars are rebuilt with strict safety standards to withstand punishment, and this driver is sure happy about that.
Came down the hill, we saw the marks, we cut in to clip the apex a little bit, and there was a big hole in the inside. We dropped the wheel in, and it didn't bounce out, so we went over.
Ironically, one of the attractions to rally racing is the peaceful side of the event, where drivers get a chance to enjoy the scenic routes of the course. In this event, drivers pass through many seaside towns, and at the halfway point of the event, drivers get to enjoy a scheduled break where automotive and stomach pit stops allow these folks to prepare for the many hours that lie ahead.
Come in, first of all, we tried to gas the thing up for starters. Right now, Daryl came in, he just had some clutch problems, so we bled his hydraulic clutch, check his mags. They got to be torqued down so the proper stress is on them when they're racing. Check the oil, just run of the mill things, just to make sure the car is still running smoothly.
The pressure of this event is not only on the drivers, but also on the organizers. This race is being scrutinized by the president of the Canadian Rally Association, Brian Guptill.
Well, that's right. If, in our view, the rally is run in a professional enough manner and we don't have any particular problems, then the rally could be considered as part of the Canadian Championship.
With the pit stop over, drivers are ready to continue their trek, but this time they head in the reverse direction to do the course all over again, but this time at night. But finally, we have a winner. It's Tim O'Neill and his Canadian navigating co-driver, Martin Headland. They celebrate the spoils of victory. And when the driving is all over, everybody enjoys a good party. Hey, why not? It's a great way to release all that built-up adrenaline from a grueling day of action at the Rally Breton. On this week's Making of a Grand Race, Checkered Flag travels to the east coast of Canada for a rally with class. Each fall, the beautiful countryside of Cape Breton, Nova Scotia, hosts a major motorsports weekend. The action is fast, the action is furious, from the body-pounding spectacle of gritty enduro motorcycles to the skill and driving talents of top-notch rallying. Nova Scotians have plenty to see. But not every motorsports event has revving engines and squealing tires. In the annual Marconi Classic, it's not how fast you go, but how good you look in getting there that counts. More than 30 of the finest automobiles from a bygone era are taking part in this vintage rally. All of them were built prior to 1958. It's a competitive event for sure, but it's also a fun event, and not only are there prizes for finishing first, second, and third, but there's also a prize for the driver and navigator with the best costume. Hey, these guys have got it all together.
One of the trophies is for period costume, so we're just trying our best to make it look a little nicer by wearing something like this. The navigator is supposed to take it quite serious and be very observant, but I think the majority of the people are here just to have a good time and show off the nice vintage cars.
And you wouldn't expect a vintage rally to have just any old guy starting the event.
Ladies and gentlemen, take a heed and listen. I am the town crier for the city of Sydney, have been commissioned to officially proclaim the start of the Marconi Classic Vintage Car Rally. Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
And away they go, a rolling museum on wheels. A 1937 Pontiac, a 1940 Ford Coach, a 1938 Dodge four-door, and looky there, a 1948 Pontiac Silver Streak Coupe are just a few of the spectacular period machines competing in this entertaining competition. Throughout the day, drivers travel along the Marconi Trail from Glace Bay to Lewisburg with several stops along their journey to allow spectators the chance to see these magnificent machines close up. These cars are more than just automobiles. They are prized possessions, treasured by the owners who get as much enjoyment from showing them off as they do in driving. The pace is slow, and believe it or not, there are no turbocharged powered machines in the field. But speed and noise is not everything. Just motoring along in a jewel of a machine is all the excitement these drivers need in the annual Marconi Vintage Car Classic.